Hello students. See, in this video we'll start lesson number 10, Respiration in Organism, part 1, but this lesson will come in term 2. So when your term 1 exam gets over, you can go through the video twice for better understanding. So let's start lesson number 10, Respiration in Organism. So first of all, before starting the lesson, I want to tell you a short story. One day, a boy was eagerly waiting to meet his grandparents who were coming to the town after a year. So he went to the bus stop to receive them. He ran fast and reached the bus stop in a few minutes. He was breathing rapidly, so his grandmother asked him why he was breathing so fast. So boy told that he came running all the way. He wondered why running makes a person breathe faster. You know why we breathe? Because breathing is a part of respiration. So let us learn about respiration first. First of all, why do we respire? So we respire to get energy from food. Respiration is the process of gaseous exchanges in the organism. So what is gaseous exchanges? When we respire, we take in oxygen gas and take out carbon dioxide gas. It means exchange the gas. So respiration is the process of gaseous exchanges in the organism. Now respiration at a cellular level, however, refers to the burning of food to obtain energy. So have you ever think why do we respire? In chapter 2, you learned that all organisms are made of small microscopic units called cells. It means a cell is the smallest structural and functional unit of organism. And each cell of an organism performs certain functions such as nutrition, transport, excretion and reproduction. Many functions it performs. So to perform these all functions, the cell needs energy. Even we are eating, sleeping, reading, or we are just sitting or just sleeping, we require energy. But where this energy comes from? You know that this energy comes from the food that we eat. Why your parents insist that you should eat regularly? So the food has stored energy which is released during respiration. Therefore, all living organisms respire to get energy from the food. Now we can say breathing. We breathe in air. You know that air contains oxygen that you had learned in 6th standard. So we breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. We breathe out air which is rich in carbon dioxide. The air we breathe in is transported to all parts of the body, and we can say ultimately to all cells. And in the cells, oxygen in the air helps in the breakdown of food and the process of breakdown food in the cell with the release of energy. So the process of breakdown of food in the cell with the release of energy is called cellular respiration. Again, cellular respiration takes place in the cells of all organisms. So that when we breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. So the air we breathe in is transported to all parts of the body. It means we can say ultimately to each cells. The oxygen we breathe in that reach to all cells of the body. And in the cells, oxygen in the air helps in the breakdown of food. When we eat food, after digestion of the food, nutrition will reach to all parts of the body, all cells of the body. Now when we breathe air, the oxygen present in air again reach to all cells of the body and helps down the food, helps down the breakdown of food. And the process of breakdown of food in the cell with the release of energy is called cellular respiration. It means when we eat food, now after digestion process, the nutrients present in the food will reach to all parts of the body. Now when we breathe the air, oxygen present in the air will reach to all parts of the body. It means we can say that all cells of the body and help the break down the food and break down the food in the cells and release energy which we require for all work. So release of energy is called cellular respiration. It means we can say cellular respiration take place in the cells of all organisms. Now when we see respiration, so again respiration are of two types. One is aerobic respiration and second is anaerobic respiration. So one by one we'll see. First, aerobic respiration. So in the cell, the food, or we can say glucose, is broken down into carbon dioxide and water using oxygen. So when the breakdown of glucose occurs with the use of oxygen, it is called aerobic respiration. And the food or glucose is broken down into carbon dioxide and water using oxygen. It means the food or glucose, when broken down with the help of oxygen or with the use of oxygen, carbon dioxide and waters give out. It means the formula of this glucose, when glucose break down with the use of oxygen, carbon dioxide plus water and plus energy will release. So when now second, anaerobic respiration. So that is quite different. You know that some organisms are there, that's as I told you about that biogas plant, also some microorganisms are there, and when we cover the lid of the lid, so some microorganisms are present. They do not get oxygen. It means they breathe without oxygen, they respire without oxygen. And again that way some organisms are there such as yeast, that can also survive in the absence of oxygen. It means without oxygen also they can survive, and one example is yeast. So this type of organisms are called anaerobes. Anaerobes are the organisms that can survive in the absence of oxygen. They can survive without the presence of oxygen. An example is yeast. It means we can say they can get energy through anaerobic respiration. It means they can get energy through the anaerobic respiration in the absence of oxygen. So in the absence of oxygen, glucose breakdowns, then glucose breakdown into alcohol and carbon dioxide. So when breakdown of glucose occurs without using oxygen, it is called anaerobic respiration. The food or glucose is breakdown into alcohol and carbon dioxide without using oxygen. And equation is glucose is breakdown without the use of oxygen or in the absence of oxygen, alcohol plus carbon dioxide and plus energy will release. So as I told you that yeast are single cell organism first of all, and they respire anaerobically. It means yeast are anaerobes. So during this process yeast yield alcohol. So our muscle cells also can respire anaerobically, but for some time only. It means we can say but for a short time. Our muscles, it means human muscle cell can also respire anaerobically, but for a short time. But when there is temporary deficiency of oxygen, sometimes this type of situation arises when there is a temporary deficiency of oxygen occur. So this time of situation occur when during heavy exercise, during fast running, during cycling, during fast walking for many hours, during heavy lifting, heavy weight lifting. It means when we do this type of work, the demand of energy is very high. When we weight lifting, cycling, walking, running, so this time demand of energy is very high, but the supply of oxygen to produce the energy is limited when we breathe. So the supply of oxygen is limited only, and during this type of work we need more energy. It means we demand for energy, our demand of energy is very high. So then anaerobic respiration take place in the muscle cells to fulfill the demand of energy. So we can say our muscle cells can also respire anaerobically, but only for a short time. Remember that. So again, for that formula, glucose in the muscles we can say, and in the absence of oxygen, lactic acid plus energy will produce. Energy will get, but only lactic acid. So have you ever wondered why you get muscle cramps after heavy exercise? As I told you, so the cramps occur when muscle cells respire anaerobically. As I told you, when we do some heavy exercise and all, we need more energy. So that time we respire very fast to get more and more oxygen. So it means, but demand of oxygen is very high, but supply of oxygen is very limited. That's why what will happen? We respire anaerobically. So the partial breakdown of glucose produces lactic acid. That time it produces lactic acid. So what will happen? The accumulation of lactic acid in the muscles, and it causes muscle cramp. So after muscle cramp, we get relief from this cramp after the hot water bath or a massage. Sometimes we massage on that, or we take that hot water bath. So again one question. So why that hot water bath or massage will give relief? Because it improves circulation of blood, and as a result what happens, the supply of oxygen to the muscle cells increases, and the increases in the supply of oxygen result in the complete breakdown of lactic acid. Again what will happen, the lactic acid which accumulate in the muscles, again it break down into carbon dioxide and water, and we relieve. So till here we complete this video. Now in the next video I will explain one more topic of the lesson, respiration in organisms. Thank you.